Welcome back, this is part 4, and in this part we're going to create the fingers that hold the strings in the bridge, and I think this is one of the most important parts, and this is really going to make or break this project. I've 3D printed the finger, and this part I'm just going to create 10 identical copies in aluminium. The nice thing here is I have a 3D printing, and that creates a really accurate template. Sadly though, I don't think plastic will be strong enough, so we are going to have to make this out of aluminium because I'm not sure plastic will be strong enough or it'll transfer the sound as sustain as it should. But as a template, it's going to be perfect. So this is the basic shape we need. We do need to add some more features to this, but we will add them once we've got more information of how this is going to look. So today we're going to do something very similar to last time and make repeated shapes out of aluminium. These fingers are designed for 608 skate bearings. These are really common, low cost, which is ideal to allow the finger to move with almost no friction. Once more, I'm using wood tools on aluminium. By using a chop saw, I can ensure the angle of the cuts are all the same. The goal here is consistency. So if you were making these, what would you do to ensure that they're all the same? I guess I could bolt together 10 fingers and machine them in one piece, but that would need a big machine. I'm not sure. I could make a jig and somehow have that ensure that the pieces are the same. I don't know. I know there's definitely room for improvements though. I've used the 3D printed part to mark the size that needs cutting. And then with a chop sliding saw, it makes light work of making these straight cuts. And then after not long, I have 10 blank. Now once more, I'm going to draw around this 3D printed part and nibble away at the corners that need removing. To make life easier, I'm just going to nibble away with the bandsaw. And then we're going to move on to some sanding. Now this is going to be quite hard to repeat 10 times accurately. And then once I've nibbled away the corners, I'm going to use a sander to make the outer surface. But this is going to be quite hard to repeat accurately 10 times. Any error we make is going to be quite obvious when we line up 10 of these. But there are cheats and shortcuts that we can use. So what I plan to do is order the fingers in the size that they are once they are on the bearings. Any large jumps in tolerances you won't really notice. It'll be small increments over the tolerance range. We still need to put a groove on the outside edge of these fingers, and a string's going to sit in there, and we can adjust and play with how that groove depth and width is to account for any tolerances in the manufacturing. Ideally we'd have a CNC machine, and that would make these a lot easier and it'd be perfectly repeated every time. I do need to get a CNC machine. Life would be easier, I swear it would be. But that's something for the future. With the bulk of the material removed, I'm going to round the surfaces on the sanding wheel. A lot of this is repeated from last time, so I'm not going to duplicate too much in this episode. I'm going to try and keep the episodes short. Next, I mark the centre with a 3D printed part and drill through. Once more, starting small and moving up. To be honest, I did move up a little bit too quick, so in hindsight, I would do it differently. But that's a lesson to be learnt for the next one. So the holes I've made aren't perfect. And now I've made 10 of these, and it's just going to be the same plan of polishing them. I do think my hand's going to play around this region. You're going to see it. I really want it to look good. So a bit of time on the polishing wheels, I think will make this instrument look pretty cool. As I say, we are missing some features. We need a groove around the outside, and we also need some feature to retain the string. My plan is to add these in the future once I know how this is going to look and how the fingers will sit on the bridge and what space we've got to play with. Ideally, I would have created a prototype before making these videos, but I haven't. This is kind of the prototype as we go along. I am quite blind to this. I don't even know how to play this instrument. I'm going to need some help, but this is part of the journey. This is why I want to share what I'm doing with you, so that if you've got any ideas, do share them back. And if you do feel inspired to create your own, do share what you do, share your improvements to this, and hopefully the next person that has a go at making it after you can learn from all the mistakes. I think that's it for this part. We've created 10 fingers and they're ready to be built into the guitar. The top one is the prototype finger, and I'm going to use this just to do a little bit of testing and figuring out. So I haven't really polished that one, as a bit of a waste of time. But yeah, that's it for today. Stick around, we're going to be following up more very soon. I'll see you then.